This episode is a great episode if you're looking to build your business with the power of VAs or virtual assistants. Bob's going to talk to you about how they utilize VAs for their texting and their cold calling platform and how it drives leads to their business.
Yes, and this is the podcast for replacing your W-2 income with wholesaling real estate. My name is David Lecko, co-host. I've helped people close 10,000 deals in all 50 states with the platform called DealMachine.
And my name is Ryan Haywood. I've been wholesaling since 2019. We've done over 450 deals, and we continue to wholesale every single day.
All right, we're here with Bob. What are your actual wholesale real estate stats for the year so far in 2024?
Stats for the year. You want to break them down, text, call, other, or you just want to give me a total? You want me to give you a total?
Whatever you think would be most impressive so that everyone listening's like socks blow off and they're going to need to pull over on the side of the road because they can't control the pedals of their car.
I like it. Now we did 133 deals so far this year. Average size deal right now, I just literally pulled this up before we got on the call, $22,455.06. So we continue to market every single day and continue to get properties under contract. So those are the long and short of the numbers.
Okay, you did 133 deals this year so far?
So far.
Now, is that before your marketing costs and stuff that you have to pay for?
That's all the money that comes in. So, that's every penny that comes in the door through obviously our wholesaling and real estate transactions.
Yeah, so it's about $3 million now, but you do have expenses, right? You have to pay for marketing and yada, yada, stuff like that. So, got it. Well, that's really impressive, dude. Especially because you're very outward about you have a VA company, right? That you've actually expanded as well and you help real estate investors with. So was really excited to hear that you successfully wholesale as well. When did you start? When did you do your first deal, by the way, Bob?
I started way back when. I started in 2004. So I've been in this industry for about 20 years. So I've seen good, bad, ugly, and you continue to see. I mean, you look at real estate. Real estate is a pretty interesting game because there's ups and downs, and you just got to ride the wave.
What motivated you to do your very first deal 20 years ago?
20 years ago, I actually played professional hockey for 8 years, and then when I signed my first contract, I actually left school 2 classes early. And what made me do my first deal is I did not want to go back to school and get my degree. So that is why I jumped into real estate.
Really?
It's a good reason.
So, dang. Okay. Why didn't you want to finish school?
I'm unemployable. I don't know. I think that's what it is. It's I didn't want to work for anybody. And I mean, it's kind of funny. Back in the day, I didn't really like school. I didn't really respect education. But now fast forward, I respect the right education, right? So obviously coaching programs, education, everything that we do with podcasts, I respect all of that now. But back in the day, I couldn't justify going to school and taking an elective on like archaeology. I'm like, what the hell am I going to use that for? So,
dude, are you still 198 pounds when you were drafted by the St. Louis Blues?
I was 187. Now I'm 195, 187.
Oh, okay. I just saw the stat. I thought it'd be funny to add your weight. That's awesome, dude. I'm from St. Louis, so that's great. Sorry I missed you, though.
Bob, you still have a great smile for a hockey player, I will have to admit.
You do.
Hey, funny story, though. When I went to Boston University, and obviously you wear masks in college. First pro shift I had, I took my mask off. And I don't know if you could see this, but I had a slap shot right between the eyes.
Oh, God.
No, I can't. I don't see that at all.
Yeah, you got to get a little close. Yeah, they did good. No, dead serious.
Wow. Okay. Well, I agree with Ryan. Great face overall. But anyway, back to the deals. So how much did you make on that first deal, by the way?
$32,000. It was a rehab. It was a property that was listed.
Oh, okay. So your first one was a rehab. When did you start thinking wholesaling was a good idea? I mean, that's pretty good, 32,000, especially 20 years ago. I mean, that's a lot of money.
Yeah. Well, I got into short sales right after that. So I did probably 1,500 plus short sale transactions. My business partner back in the day, I don't know if you remember Pat Precourt, if you've seen him in a while.
Yeah, I know Pat. Yeah, of course.
Yeah, him and I were partners for about 10 years. Yep.
Okay.
Yep. And then first wholesale deal was right after that. We got into short sales. We were really Well, we were doing business was different back then, a little different back then.
Yeah. First, when you said short sales, I was thinking like Quicksilver, American Eagle. But what's not what you meant. What is a short sale?
Short sale when the property value is less than the debt. So if the bank's debt is like 300,000, the value is 250. You got to discount it down, buy it, resell it. But back in the day, we used what were called land trusts. People don't use them too much now, but we would do simultaneous closings where the bank would fund us out, almost like the modern day novation.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So, well, now we're getting complicated. Well, I thought innovation was just like giving you the ability to list it on the MLS without being a real estate agent.
Yeah, it's pretty. I mean, anyone could. There's a lot of different definitions, but basically that's what it is when you list it, and it is. I mean, I would say it's a form of wholesaling as well as innovation. So, people obviously don't take title to it.
All right. So you did the short sales, and I'm hearing you say business is different. So, I mean, there's probably less short sale opportunities today, is kind of what I'm gathering, right?
Correct. Yeah, that's 100% correct. Yep.
Why did you then you did wholesaling?
Then I got into wholesaling. Well, I was still doing wholesaling while we were doing short sales because there's different, all of our marketing was geared to pre-foreclosure. Like we'd pull a pre-foreclosure list. We do direct mail. I did door knocking. I did all that kind of stuff. Back in the day it was different. There weren't text messaging. We didn't do a ton of, outsourced cold calling, which is big today. It was more, direct mail, door knocking, things like that.
Wow. So you and Pat were door knocking.
Yep. I was door knocking. He was not door knocking. He did door knock at the beginning until I joined his team, and then I took over that. And then after a year of door knocking, I got someone else to door knock, and then I was negotiating with banks, and that's typically the natural progression.
Okay. And we just focus on wholesaling in our podcast. That's why I'm kind of veering you in this direction. But
Yep.
what
Yep.
what
Hey,
what was so great
that's all I
about
do now. So that's
what
all
was
I
so
do now.
yeah, yeah,
Most
yeah.
part.
What was so great about wholesaling that you kept doing it for 18 more years?
Well, wholesaling is obviously easy, right? Getting properties under contract, finding buyers, and put them together. The paperwork's very easy. Signing a contract is very, very simple. The beauty of this business, there's no barriers of entry, right? You don't need licensing, and typically you don't need licensing. I know, a
Yeah.
lot of states may be pushing more towards getting a real estate license, but I'm okay with that. A majority of the people in my office here have a real estate license.
Yeah. Oh, there's like 4 states or 4 places where you need a license,
Yep. Yep.
at this point. So, yeah, you don't need a license. There's no barrier to entry. If you're door knocking, I mean, you just need to buy lunch. You don't need to actually spend a lot on marketing. Do you guys still do door knocking now, or do you do other
Nope.
forms of marketing?
Yeah, I don't do that now. Our main marketing now is still text messaging, cold calling. We do direct mail. We do PPC. Those are our main channels. We're going to start TV, I think. We're going to start TV probably after the election, but driving for dollars as well, obviously, with you guys. And so all of that stuff, works with the funnel and works with driving in leads.
Yeah. Well, it's great you're using us for driving for dollars. Most people that come to us now, they're actually coming for the contact info that we have in the subscription. Have you used that at all?
I have not used that yet.
Yeah. Well, it's awesome. If you guys use skip tracing for your cold calling, it can not only save you the money because it's included in the subscription, but it's actually more accurate because you can filter through everyone named, Ryan Haywood. If that's the owner of your property that you're looking at, you could see all the Ryan Haywoods in the US. So you're obviously going to get in touch with the right one because they're all right there,
Yep.
rather than just pressing a skip trace button and getting whatever you get. So that's a huge reason why people come to us now, is for that contact info.
Cool. We didn't know that. I will definitely look into that after this podcast for sure.
That's why I brought it up. But we've been driving for dollars for 8 years. Have you guys been with us since that amount of time?
Last couple of years we have.
Okay, got it. Well, thank you for that. I definitely very much appreciate it. So, is 133 deals in 9 months, like, is that pretty normal for you now? I mean, that's heavily scaled up. Very few
Yeah.
people scale their business to that level, which is really impressive.
Yeah, we're averaging about we have 7 acquisition guys here. We have all of our virtual assistants that are
Wow.
driving all the leads into our company, and then we have 7 acquisition guys. We're averaging about 10 contracts per week, so that equates to I think we're at about 16 closed deals per month.
Wow. Okay. And if somebody was like brand new starting out trying to get their first deal, what would be your recommended strategy for getting that?
Yeah, I'd say the easiest thing to do is obviously, well, I mean, I guess pull lists from you guys, get them skip traced, and send them over to my VAs to text message and cold call. For us, text message is still really, really good. I know there's some people that say, "Oh, text message is dead." It's not dead, right? For us, anyways. For some people out there, it may be dead, but it's not dead for us. We've closed 76 deals this year just on text messaging alone.
Wow. That's really great.
Tell us a little bit about the text messaging. What do they say to the customer that grabs the customer's attention?
So we have a whole training platform behind the scenes. So my VAs do it. So I don't even exactly know what they say, to be honest with you. But we have a text message cold call process. So once there's a reaction back and forth, then they pick up the phone and vet them and then send them over. So
Gotcha.
the exact script is with my team that we actually train on it. I just don't know the exact script, to be honest with you.
Gotcha.
No, it makes sense. And I'm sure it changes too to avoid those spam filters and stuff. You always got to change your message and whatnot. Well, cool. Bob, you have 7 acquisitions people. Pretty crazy. Let's think about somebody who's doing like their 5th deal. I mean, by the time you get your 5th deal, you're like, this is it. I got to go all in. I got to hire somebody. I frequently hear this. I got to hire somebody to do the marketing, acquisitions, etc. So as somebody who's scaled your business, but also has an outsourced virtual assistant business, what's the good next step for somebody in that position?
Yes, I mean, I always look at it where you don't really have a bit. Well, none of us have a business unless you have leads coming in, right? Not only obviously using your obviously marketing and using our marketing. So it all depends on what you want to do. If you want to double your lead volume, you have to look at your marketing spend. I mean, that's just obviously that's normal in any business. But what we do is we spend a lot of time. I have 8. So just to give you a little background, we have 8 VAs that do text messaging on the platform that we use. We have 6 cold calling VAs. So if I'm starting out, what I'm going to do, I'm going to start with 1 text messaging VA, and I would start with 1 cold call VA. And then, that should bring you enough leads to be able to close deals. One thing I do recommend, and I know you guys have talked about this on your podcast in the past, is, a lot of investors miss the fact that they have to keep training and understanding sales, right? Sales training is absolutely imperative. I don't do any sales training, me personally, so I have no dog in the fight, but we spend a lot of money on sales trainers to come into our office and do weekly virtual training as well.
Got it. Wow. Weekly training. That's awesome.
And we also have a sales guy, we call him our sales manager, is one of our lead acquisition guys too. He does 2 trainings a week in office, so which is very, very helpful.
Okay. So if I wanted to get a virtual assistant to call for me, are you saying I can get one from you and then you guys are always training them?
I'm just talking about our in-house guys, but we do train our virtual assistants 100% on cold calling.
Do I need to train a virtual assistant from your company on how I want to cold call, or do they just come in and they're going to run your process?
So we have them trained on our process, and I say the same thing whenever everyone wants to hire a virtual assistant. It's always the 80-20 rule. If you want to tweak something 20% to fit what you're looking for. So if you're let's say you're cold calling for pre-foreclosure list, you may want to change it just a little bit. For us, we keep it very standard because we just want to buy their house. So it doesn't really, we don't really get caught in the weeds in that. We've been doing it for so long that we found that the script that we use works very, very well.
Got it. Sometimes when I'm following a script, it prevents me from actually having a conversation with the seller. So I very quickly will veer off that script. Have you experienced that, or is that just like me?
No, that's 100% true. Even when we have our acquisition guys here, they're all trained on just a script, but then they make it their own, right? Because obviously your personality, Dave, is different than Ryan's, is different than mine, where you'll just, everyone has a different style to build rapport, has, different. Some people want to get right to the chase. Some people want to ask about their family, ask about their kids, etc. So but you got to look at though, the scripts you just want to hit those bullet points on each script and make it your own.
Yeah, that's like what I definitely need to do. So glad to hear you say that. What do you think your best deal ever was?
Best deal ever. It was a wholesale deal. We were supposed to be wholesaling it, and the buyer backed out. So we closed on it because it was too good of a deal. We listed it. We made about $200,000 on it.
200,000 on one deal?
Yep. This is in Massachusetts this past year.
Okay. Wait, where do you live, Bob?
I live in Connecticut.
Okay. So you did a little out of state investing.
So we do, as of right now, and that could change tomorrow, right? We did last year, it changed because we were doing Arkansas, Alabama, all areas where hedge funds were buying, and we were wholesaling it right to hedge funds. But obviously, since money got a little more expensive, hedge funds pulled back. So now we do, our main markets are Connecticut, Massachusetts, Rhode Island, Florida, a little bit of Pennsylvania as well.
And why did you do virtual markets, different places, instead of like going deep into one particular market?
Well, we live in Connecticut. We do go deep in Connecticut as well. But I'm fortunate, obviously, to have a virtual assistant company, and we have great ways to drive in leads with our team. And we have a very good system and process here in Connecticut with our sales team.
Okay, got it. Well, cool. Yeah. Well, again, that person who's probably listening to this, they're just kind of wanting to get started with their own investing. At what point do you think it's a good time to hire that VA to cold call? Do I need to have done my own deals first, or could I hire somebody to cold call from day one?
Great question. I would do it from day one. Reason being, it's the same thing. You need marketing. We need leads. If we don't have leads, we don't have a business. And that's very, very important. So for me, if I'm starting out, that's exactly what I'd be doing. I'd be figuring out every single way to drive in leads. And whether it's, obviously pulling a list from you guys and either texting, calling, that's the easiest way to drive in leads immediately.
Got it. Okay. If somebody like that's listening and they want to find out where to go talk to you about hiring a VA, where would be the best place for them to go?
Yeah, just check it. I mean, you go to our website at Reva Global, REVAglobal.com. We have a strategy session too. You guys could, talk to anyone on our team and just ask more questions about it. But yeah, I mean, we use this. Here's the thing. We use VAs in our business to drive in leads. So, I mean, it's just like you guys, it's easy to do a podcast when you know your service is something that you guys use in your own business. So I think today's day and age is very, very important that, and we're starting to see a lot more that service providers actually use their own service to drive in leads. I think that's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm. That is cool. Thank you. Yeah, for sure. Absolutely. So I like that you're being able to provide what's working in your own business for sure. It gives you a lot of confidence in when you're talking about it. Do you have social media, Bob, where I could send people as well?
Yeah, it's under Reva Global. So I have, Instagram, I have Facebook. I don't post much personally, to be 100% honest with you. I'm not a big poster with the taking selfie pictures and all that stuff. So all that stuff is when we do these podcasts, we'll cut them up and our VAs will be posting them everywhere.
Sweet. Okay, cool. Another job for the VAs. I love it.
That's right. That's right.
Cool. Thank you so much, Bob, for joining us. Anything else you wanted to let members know that are listening?
No. I mean, if you have a lot of newer individuals, I would just say get your marketing set up. It's very, very important because you have to keep marketing in order to be successful in this business. And the business does change a little bit, but wholesaling, in my opinion, is always going to be there. And it's a great way to make money.
Yeah, it is. Agreed. Thank you so much, Bob. I really appreciate it.
Awesome. Thanks, guys.
Thanks for listening to the DealMachine Real Estate Investing Podcast. Please leave us a review and follow along wherever you're listening to your podcast.